Hello everybody, sorry about that, I was just typing something in. How is everyone doing today? Tabaxi's not here, but nice first Tabaxi anyway. Hold on a second, real quick. Let me just do that. Okay. So today we're just gonna do some research and maybe... Hi Rax, how are you today? I hope you're doing good today. Let me find the list of things I wanted to research today. There's some things I wanted to research. I'm doing good, Pocket. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. Better than yesterday. That's good to hear. So I have a few questions to ask the... like what percentage of scientists are autistic? I don't know if they have a percentage for it, but there's not a definitive percentage. Okay. Let's see. Scientists among mathematicians was 1.85. So let's say mathematicians were 1.85, if I can spell it, 85%. Okay. Let's see who made the first vaccine. Who made the first vaccine? Edward Jenner. Okay, cool. Edward was this smallpox that milkmaids who had cowpox were protected from smallpox and successfully inoculating a young boy with cowpox. Whoa, what? Okay. Edward Jenner. I just want to see if it started out with him being autistic, Edward Jenner in 1796. Smallpox vaccine. Was Edward Jenner autistic? I want to see if that's what caused it. Never was tested for autism and now wouldn't change anything, so probably not gonna get. That's fair. Was Edward Jenner autistic? No historical evidence or documentation. Okay. Was the concept was a condition as a condition? Okay. Okay, so far we don't know if he was autistic. So I'll just put unclear. Wait, undocumented. Autism was undocumented at the time. And there was no evidence of such. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I got one. I got another question. I got another question. Is Pocket Wolf autistic? No, I'm just kidding. There might not be a lot, but if anyone has any questions about anything, feel free to ask them, and I'll look it up. This was a question I had recently. Do bones have nerves? Yes, bones do have... Oh, wow, really? Oh, okay. Yes. Can Okay, Rex, that's okay. Can you feel pain in your bones? Oh, I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! Okay, so you can feel pain. Can you feel pain in your bones? Yes. Okay, let's see. It's often a sign of underlying issue rather than normal sensation. Okay. According to the bone pain is usually a deep, localized, and intense ache that can occur with or without movement and can be caused by injuries like fractures and infections. Oh, interesting. Let's see if what is... Oh, okay. Let's read some more about that then. I don't know if... Yeah, that should be right. Okay. Oh, wait, I opened it twice. Whoops. What is bone pain? Bone pain is any pain or discomfort you feel in your bones or joints. It can be caused by many injuries and health conditions. Ah, that's fair, Pocket. Bone pain is any pain or discomfort you feel in your bones or joints. It can be caused by many injuries and health conditions. You might see it referred to as bone tenderness. Okay. Okay. Let me try to remember where I had this. Where did I put it? Fuck. Let me find something real quick. Research, nope. Can't remember where to find it. No, I lost it. Cool. No, not cool school things, but the editing shortcuts. No, interesting, but no. I'm gonna save this as something important. I know I had it under, like, research. No, not interesting websites. I know I had it here somewhere. Where the hell did it go? Mobile, nope. I know I had it important, maybe? Nope. I know I had it here somewhere. Just chatting research. There we go. Found it. Okay. Okay. Let's look up more about the nerves. These nerves play a crucial role in bone health, including remodeling, metabolism, and adaptation. They are found... Wait. I need to find that and move it up here so I can... Yeah. Oh, no. It's right here. Okay. Good. Okay, sorry about that. Including the periosteum? What's that? The periosteum is a fibrous sheath that covers the bone. Okay, cool. It contains the blood vessels and nerves that provide nourishment. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Periosteum is like... Okay, let's see. Let's see, there's something right here. Oh, it's right before the bone. Okay, you guys want to see this? Hold on, it's really cool. Okay. Let me just open this. Open image and new tab. There we go. Here's the image, right? Okay. So it's the skin. Let me see. Okay, it's the skin, right? It's just the skin. And then it's the periosteum and then the bone. I see now. There's an arachnoid in my body? Arachnoid, not arachnid. Okay, sorry. I understood that wrong. I completely understood that wrong. Let's see. It contains the blood vessels and nerves. Oh, wait, wrong thing. How do I make this so it's not... Oh, wait, did I get rid of that? No, I didn't. Okay. Nerves and bones. Silent partners. Beginning at the beginning, one might ask. Okay, I don't want to read all this. This doesn't feel like this will help me. Okay, maybe it will. I don't know. No bone for you. No bone. Yeah, I don't know. In clinical practice, anticipating because by trauma, neoplasm, or inflammation in bone is proof that sensory nerves exist within bones and joints. Clinical neurologists in the past were prepared to deduce the presence of nerves in bone from clinical observations. For instance, the French neurologist, I don't care. I really don't. That's not gonna help me. Let's see, what's this? And I don't, anabolic, I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, these two things aren't going, and people can look for those. It's too much to read. Compare. Oh fuck! I didn't do that. Hold on. I should probably fix that. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Hold on. There we go. Can you guys hear the Pokemon on here? I can't remember. Pokemon. I guess I'll find out in a second. That is not what I wanted. I did not want Elgato sounds. Let me, I think I would have that one on here. What the fuck is this? Okay, never mind. I got it. I have it. Never mind. Okay, let's see. Next question. Hold on a second. Got a message from somebody. Yes and yes. What is the point of okay. What is the point in medical terminology? Okay. Okay, I see. Hold on. I'll read it out in a second what I found, okay? The point in medical terminology is to provide a precise, universal language for healthcare professionals to communicate clearly and accurately about anatomy, diseases, and treatments, ensuring patient safety, improving care outcomes, and facilitating research and global collaboration. It serves as an official language of medicine built from prefixes, roots, and suffixes. Just, okay. Interesting. Okay, what was this one? Why is medical terminology important? Who needs to understand medical terminology? General practitioners, physician assistants, that's a lot of people. Non-clinical roles, medical, pharmacists. Okay, interesting. Okay, here's one. Okay, okay, this is weird. Some examples are pharyngitis or sore throat. Pharynge is pharynx or throat. Itis is disease or inflammation. Of course it is. There's a lot of weird stuff on here. That's actually good to know, though. For medical people to communicate precisely. Okay, what is the? I also wanted. I bet it's the same fucking thing with scientific terminology. Scientific terminology. Let's see. It's crucial for enabling clear. Yep, same thing. Same basic idea. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's basically the same thing. I just wasn't sure. You know what? I have to be right back. I know it's early to do a BRB, but I have to be right back. Ah! Fuck! Ah, shit! I shouldn't have turned around. I thought he was about to see me there for a second. Please don't turn around and look at me. Ah! Motherfucker. Ah! Motherfucker. That actually got me. I'm ready for you, Daddy. Look, he assumed the position for Daddy, you know. It doesn't feel it. I made it! Guys, I made it! I made it. Fuck yes. Oh, no you don't. I literally just went around in a circle. Oh, fuck. Fuck, no! No! Can I really just walk over this? Oh, that's fucked up. Okay, I don't think you can walk over this one, though. Oh, shit. Actually, what happens if I scan it? Ah, you could not have timed that any fucking better. Okay.
Watch out. Hot dad coming through. Hey.
Oh god, you scarred everybody in my chat. Wait. Nope. Oh wait, hold on. How did I not see this? Oh my god, you just saw me, like, you saw me, right? Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on. Oh, I'm dizzy now. Holy shit. The frame rate or something so I could see frame by frame what I was doing. I did it! I fucking did it! Holy shit! One way or another, I'm gonna get ya. I'm gonna get ya one way or another. I'm gonna find ya. I'm gonna kill ya over. The thing probably is watching me. No, it's not watching me. It's not behind me. I'm good.
Rhizophalia. I'm finna make you a drug addict with this crack.
I was not expecting that. Oh my god. I have nothing else to say. That was perfect. Oh my god. Oh my god, I was not expecting that. Do I need to actually pay attention? Ah! I fucked up. Ah! What was that? Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. Okay, let's see. What is the point of scientific terminology? Okay. Oh yeah, I already looked that up. I forgot what I had to look up next. Whoops. Okay. I wanted to look something up. What is DSD? DSD, differences of sex development or disorders of... Okay, I'd rather do differences. Differences of sex development. Okay, let's see. Refers to a range of genital conditions where a person's sex characteristics such as chromosomes, gonads, or genitalia do not align with typical definitions of male or female. These variations are caused by genetic factors or underlying conditions. That's interesting. Let's look at this then. Are usually associated with being male, but reproductive organs. Okay, hold on. You or your child may have sex chromosomes, bundles of genes, usually associated with being female. XX chromosomes are usually associated with being male. XY chromosomes. For reproductive organs and genitals that may look different from usual. Okay. So, like, you can have a penis and a vagina, you can't have a penis and testicles, you know, that kind of thing. Something like that. I don't know. But one of them won't work properly. I know that much. Okay. Let's see. Usual female pattern genes with genitals that look different to girls' genitals? You mean like male ones? Chromosomes with ovaries and a womb, but the genitals may not look the same as many females. For example, they may have more developed clitoris, a more developed clitoris, and their vagina may be closed. Oh, ow. Oh, I don't like that. Or genes usually seen in males with genitals that look like the same as most girls and some internal male structures. Okay, I see. Okay. Ordinary looking genitals but different sex development. Let's see, the internal and external sex organs can be either male or female, but they may not go through a full physical development at puberty. For example, a child with female sex organs may not start having periods. Oh. Female with usual external genitals, both out of womb. Okay, interesting. What happens after the birth of a baby? I don't give a shit. Actually, you know what? Well, that's obvious what happens. Oh, wait, hold on. Sometimes a DSD may be diagnosed if an older child does not go through puberty properly. For example, your child may not start showing the changes linked with puberty, or they may start puberty but not have periods. Okay. Interesting. Don't worry, I don't think I have this. This is just information that I wanted. Where's IVSC, though? There's a question. What is IVSC? International Valuation Standards Council? Okay. That's not what I wanted, though. I don't think. That's definitely not what I wanted. Medical term. What is no. Medical contraceptive is used in several different ways. The correct meaning depends on the specific field of medicine. There it is. Innate variations of sex characteristics. Innate variations of sex characteristics. That's what I was looking for. It is considered a non-pathologizing term that includes a wide range of intersex variations. The use of this term recognizes the diversity of human bodies and respects the human rights of people with these oh, interesting. It's definitely not iliac vein compression syndrome. I know that, but that I'm looking for. Okay, let's open a link here. This short grant to improve intersex people's health and well-being. And this one. A fact sheet. Why not? Oh, that's a file, right? That scared the hell out of me, and it should not have. The Chimperkin. I don't know why that scared me. Just experience. Okay, I know IVSC and transgender are not the same thing already. Though intersex people can be transgender, innate humans born with it. It is not something someone becomes. I don't like this. Acknowledging the role you have in normalizing and destigmatizing diversity. What is this? You know what? I'll save that. I don't care. Seems good. Historic grant to improve intersex people's health and well-being. Let's read this. A multi-institutional system has been awarded $5 million in federal government funding. Interesting. People with the night variant, they respect the human rights. Okay. In most Australian jurisdictions, people in this population remain at risk of or experience unnecessary medical interventions, often preempting their ability to consent, while adults struggle to access services and supports. Oh, interesting. This is information I probably won't read the whole thing, but. In 2023, the ACT became the first Australian state or territory to enact new legislation preventing contested medical interventions on people with IVSC without informed consent. Good to know. Good to know. Now, this one is from me. What does pangender entail? Pangender entails an expansive gender identity that includes all genders or a multitude of genders experienced either simultaneously or over time. Mine is usually simultaneously. This means a pangender person's identity encompasses the entire gender spectrum. A pangender identity can be experienced as a single, all-encompassing sense of self or as a fluid experience of many distinct gender identities. There's a non-binary wiki page for it. Okay. Let's see. Countless number of separate identities that they are fluid between over time. You know what? I have another question. Is gender fluid the same as pangender, if I can spell that right? Okay, I almost had it spelled all the way. Now I do. No, okay, it's different. I'm not the same. Though they can overlap. Okay. Good to know. Okay, let me, is gender fluid the same as pangender? No, but they do overlap. Let's see. Okay, now I know what gender fluid is. Hold on. What is gender fluid? Not someone who is not a fixed gender at all times, right? Is what it said. Gender is not a fixed gender at times and can change over time. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Pangender, gender identity where they identify with all or many genders. Okay, possibly simultaneously. Okay. This is a static identity. Okay, meaning all these genders are felt at once rather than experienced as a rotation. Okay. There's something called pangender fluid. Specifically, both pangender and gender fluid. A person might identify with all genders, but also feel that their experience of those genders can change or shift. Interesting. Okay, I know what static versus dynamic means. Actually, now I need to read that. If that feeling also involves movement or change, it might identify as pangender fluid or simply gender fluid. If someone's identity feels static as all genders, they might identify as pangender. Okay, cool. Oh, what's polygender? Oh, polygender is the same thing. Okay. There's nothing I'm seeing besides Quora and Reddit posts. And a non-binary wiki bot. Oh, and a gender fluid for gender wiki. Let me see. Is that also... No, it's but there are so many wikis. Oh, I like the pangender flag. I also like the pansexual flag, which I am. I'm both pangender and pansexual, apparently, so, you know. Okay, this is gonna be something I've been wanting to know for a while. Let's see. Do people still believe in Wikipedia? Here we go. I found a video. I found the video. Let's watch the video.
Though the label has only been used since the 90s,
Oh wait, this person's Native American. I can tell because the hairstyle he's using. I may be wrong though. I actually may be wrong. I was thinking the hairstyle looks great, but it looks like something a Native American would usually have. You know, like a ponytail. Like I don't know.
But the Two-Spirit is something indigenous groups have identified with for centuries. But what does Two-Spirit actually mean?
Hold on, let me turn this up a little bit.
Where does it come from?
I'm only doing this because I know somebody who is legally Two-Spirit. Because I heard that Native Americans are very strict about the Two-Spirit flag. You know, like if you're holding the Two-Spirit flag or whatever, you have to be Two-Spirit. But I was talking to them, as long as you... Oh, sorry, what? Oh, that's okay, Rex. I understand. I missed Rex's thing. Oh, I feel bad now. But if she can't do it, that's okay. What's wrong, Pocket? What's with the spin? Just putting yourself in a spin cycle? Basically, there is somebody... who is true spirit that I've talked to, asked questions about, you can have like, let's say, because I want to get a two spirit magnet just to put on my whiteboard, right? As long as I don't say that, hey, I'm two spirit, then I'd be fine, you know. I'm gonna fix something real quick. Hold on. Chatting. Hold on. Browser. Add existing. Should have a chat 2, right? Yeah, chat 2. I don't want this to be the case, but it's gonna have to happen. I hope this works right. Oh, can you guys can't read that, hold on. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's upsetting. But whatever. It won't work, whatever. I don't get it now. But back to main. But they're very strict about who says what. Like, a friend, I guess a friend? I think we're friends. But basically, they're a Native American in Canada, and they're two-spirit. You know? Oh, thank you for the pets. They're two-spirit. Is that a butt pet? Oh my god, I didn't realize that until afterwards. How dare you pet my butt? No, but, basically, somebody went to a pride event with the, two-gender flag, and they were like, oh, are you two-gender? And, yeah, I'm part of da-da-da-da-da, you know, some tribe that they weren't actually a part of. Like, and they got kicked out because their sister or whatever said, we're not Native American. And then they got kicked out, you know?
So what is two-spirit? It's an umbrella term that bridges indigenous and Western understandings of gender and sexuality. You may recognize it as the two that sometimes appears at the end of LGBTQ2.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Can you guys hear the video all right?
There are many definitions and understandings of two-spirit, and each is nation-specific. The term was intentionally introduced by Native people with the goal of finding common ground and helping educate about traditional teachings in a contemporary context. The Two-Spirit Society of Denver offers the following definition. Two-Spirit refers to another gender role believed to be common among most, if not all, First Peoples of Turtle Island, North America. One that had a proper and accepted place within Native societies. This acceptance was rooted in the spiritual teachings that say all life is sacred.
Well, I need to pause. I need to pause real quick because I'm missing stuff. Okay, sorry about that.
So how did the term Two-Spirit first come about? In 1990, in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, at the 3rd Annual Native American Gay and Lesbian Gathering, the term Two-Spirit was proposed and affirmed by consensus. The word was a potential solution to what Native scholars and activists called the problem of naming, or making the many different sexual and gender identities that fall under the Two-Spirit umbrella legible.
Alright, I was checking something real quick.
Across native and non-native cultures alike. For example, to illustrate the diversity of meanings that Two-Spirit contains, consider the following. In Lakota, the word Winkte means to be as a woman and refers to two-souled Lakota people who transgress boundaries of gender from what may be.
What are those emotes? To you too. Oh, the flappers one is so cute. Sorry, I have to say it again.
In Diné, Nadleje means those who transform and refers to one of 4 separate genders: masculine feminine, masculine masculine, feminine masculine, and feminine feminine. Each gender has its own word in the Diné language. And those are just 2 nation-specific examples. There are so many more. Each nation's understanding of gender and
Pocket, can you hear this all right?
sexual diversity is different and grounded in specific spiritual beliefs. Although all nations don't have a concept of two-spirit people, across those indigenous nations that do, two-spirit people were historically held in high regard and often considered
I've heard that. Oh, wait, hold on.
sacred or divine.
And that's why you don't say you're two-spirit unless you're recognized. Unless you're recognized as two-spirit by a tribe or something. Hold on. I don't think I have barbarical yet. You can't, you're not, like, you're high regards, not only that, but you're the medicine person, if I remember correctly.
Holding important positions like matchmakers, medicine people, or
See?
warriors on the
There was medicine people. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know about matchmaker or, warrior.
front lines of battle.
That's cool.
Many two-spirit people perform roles traditionally assigned to both men and women. Witwa, a famous two-spirit of the Zuni or Ihamana, was known to take part in masculine tribal matters and feminine tribal matters, and was even sent as an official Zuni delegate to Washington, D.C. Part of the reason Two-Spirit was adopted at the 1990 conference was because much of the written record on the indigenous nations of North America begins with European contact. For instance, the writings of
Pocket, can you turn off your music real quick and tell me if you can hear this, okay? Because I can restart the video too if it's problematic, you know? The volume.
with priests from the 1600s contain references to berdaches, which means kept boy in French, to refer to those who embodied both male and female genders. These writings often focus negatively on perceived cross-dressing among the Anishinaabe.
Okay, that's good.
The term is not only inaccurate in that it projects a European understanding of gender, but is widely considered pejorative by natives. Two-spirit was an attempt at self-determination across linguistic barriers, because the existing language, foreign and imposed violently on the indigenous people,
I wonder if they're two-spirit. Now that I think about it, they look two-spirit. You know, and I don't want them to be like, I mean, they look Native American, you know. I don't know if it's the hair, but they also look male-female, you know what I mean? Like, they look two-spirit.
of North America was both offensive and deeply colonial in its gaze. European colonizers imposed homophobia, rigid binary gender roles, and misogyny under the guise of civilizing indigenous people through the Christian tradition.
I'm sorry, I hate that they did that. That's fucking Christian faith. This is why I think Christian faith is bullshit. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me explain what I mean by that. I mean, if you're Christian, you can believe what you want, but just let other people believe what they believe, you know?
In residential schools and beyond. As a result, indigenous people were robbed not only of their land, but of their spiritual traditions and way of life regarding two-spirit people. Many nations came to forbid and punish two-spirit unions and self-expression. As recently as 2004, Kathy Reynolds and Dawn McKinley, 2 Cherokee women in Tulsa, Oklahoma, attempted to marry under tribal law, setting off a convoluted legal battle with serious political and social implications. The two were thrust into the spotlight against their wishes and became instant public symbols of the battle for two-spirit rights under tribal law. The Cherokee tribe is the second largest in the U.S. Although they were granted the right to marry,
What do you mean more spiritual than hardline rules? I don't know what that means, I'm sorry. Like, there are Christian people who Be like, you should believe in Jesus, whatever. You should do this because Jesus said so. Jesus never said it, of course. Jesus would never say that. Because he loves everyone equally, supposedly, you know. But, like, there are people out there who are Christian that say they're Christian. There's Catholics out there, too, that say they're Catholic. But even the Pope said, for instance, J.D. Vance isn't a true Catholic. Because of how he is, and it's just... the Pope has this say-all, end-all about, oh, this is okay, you know? Like, this is okay under Catholicism or whatever, you know? Okay, I get that. Now that you say it like that, I understand what you mean. You use it as a spiritual guide. I get that. See, you don't think of it as you have to believe the Bible. You take it into your own soul. I get that.
The decision to issue them a marriage license was soon challenged and led to a tribal law declaring that a union was to be between a man and a woman.
I hate that. I hate hearing... because they're mostly white people saying this, because... okay, you can be black and be a Christian. I get that. But there are a lot of white people who grew up being taught certain things, and that's how they see the world. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. Maybe I'm generalizing here, but... I don't like people doing that because it led to racism, it led to crimes, you know what I mean? Hold on, just use this. Yeah, exactly, I understand that, Pocket. I don't go to church, I don't read the Bible, but I've heard enough about the original Bible to say that homophobia is not a sin. What it was later in the Bible's life, somebody put homophobia or homosexual in the Bible. You know, King James Bible, I think, said it first.
Eventually, in 2016, the law was overturned. By that
Yay!
time, a wider cultural shift had taken place, both outside of and within the Cherokee Nation. In recent years, many Native people are returning to...
Well, I like this image. I don't know why, but I like this image.
Two-spirit traditions as a way to heal from the injustices the American colonial project has visited upon their ancestors and traditions. In 2011, the first known U.S. Two-Spirit powwow was organized by the Bay Area American Indian Two-Spirits.
Oh, first Two-Spirit powwow? Nice.
Since then, powwows honoring Two-Spirits have been held in Montana and Kansas. And in March of 2017, the largest powwow in the U.S., the Gathering of Nations, honored Two-Spirit people during its grand entry.
Oh.
Two-Spirit identity is resilient and precious. It has survived centuries of colonial violence and prejudice. These sacred ways of knowing live on amongst Native youth seeking to know more about themselves, elders who have kept their traditions alive in spite of the odds.
Yeah, I know that. I know it was talking about that. That's what I was saying, that it was later put in homophobia. And there was never a term for homosexual back when the Bible was first made. Somebody put that later in, like, for their own prejudice.
Between. It should go without saying, but Two-Spirit is not a poetic way for non-native LGBTQ people to express.
Hold on. Oh, this is a nice one too that I wanted to learn.
We're looking at you, Jason Mraz. It
Jason
is, however, a
Mraz.
sacred tradition among the first peoples of this land we call Turtle Island that all of its inhabitants should know about.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm just...
And respect.
Hold on. Because I opened it already, but... Let's see. Oh, wait, shit! Hold on.
Never thought I'd say this.
I wanted to keep this open. Fuck, ad! Ad! No! Because I watched this already, I want to open this up in a new tab. I definitely wanted to. Hey, Drew, how are you? How are you today, Drew? I'll subscribe to them. Wait, which channel is this? Oh, that was the wrong channel. Hold on, getting rid of me. Ah, yeah. Fucking shit. Hold on. I don't know what that was that she did, but it was kind of cool. That was kind of cool, actually, what she was doing. I don't know how she did that, though, so. La-pa-da-pa-ti-pa-tung, you know. Control V. Do. I'm not intersex, nor am I two-spirit, okay? And I'm not claiming to be. I just know people who are, you know.
From its introduction as a medical term to its rebranding in the 1990s, the word intersex has been reclaimed by activists, and it's a word that challenges how doctors treat intersex bodies.
Ew, not Dubai.
So how much do you really know about the history of the word intersex? Stick with me to find out. Intersex is an umbrella term that refers to people who carry variations.
This will be the last ad skip, by the way, people. I'm sorry.
In the reproductive and sexual anatomy that differ from what's traditionally male or female. An intersex person can appear to have one kind of genitalia on the outside and another internally.
I know somebody. The two-spirit person is also biologically intersex. Grew up as a man, or a boy, I should say. Grew up as male presenting because that's what their parents wanted. No, it's not what their parents wanted. I lied. That's what the doctors wanted. The doctors wanted a gender assigned to her, and they assigned a gender. And it turns out to be the wrong one because she had ovaries and stuff. So she had her period, and she was like, oh, I'm so achy. Went to the doctor, and they said, oh, it's just this, and they actually took out her ovaries, you know?
They might have some X chromosomes and some Y chromosomes. They can have ambiguous genitalia or not, and know at birth that they're intersex, or find out later on. The bottom line, intersex is a word with a broad meaning, and we've only been using it this way for the past 100 years. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the word intersex has been around since the late 1700s.
Oh, wow.
Before the 20th century, the term was rare and referred to relations between the sexes. It was only in 1917 that a German geneticist named Richard Goldschmidt used the term in a way that we understand it today. In his research, Goldschmidt created the term to describe moths with atypical sex characteristics, and it extended to humans who had oldest. It was only in 1917 that a German geneticist named Richard Goldschmidt used the term in a way that we understand it today. In his research, Goldschmidt created the term to describe moths with atypical sex characteristics, and it extended to humans who, at the time, would have been called hermaphrodites. The term hermaphrodite was used in 18th and 19th century medical literature to describe individuals who were intersex. Now considered a derogatory slur, the term...
Which I didn't know that for a long time. I thought hermaphrodite just meant somebody with both a penis and a vagina because that's what I've heard, you know? And hearing that later on that it was a slur, I'm like, oh, well, it makes sense. I mean, it sounds like a slur. You know, I've heard of things with "I" at the end being slurs, you know?
Evoked a mythical creature in the pursuit of a body with both male and female reproductive anatomy. Staying in the 19th century for a moment, we can get a sense of the discrimination that intersex people have faced throughout history. In the 1860s, French newspapers reported on the reclassification of Herculine Barbin, an intersex woman who was forced to live as a man and committed suicide when she was just 30 years old.
Oh, poor...
Was painted as a monster by the press.
Wait, what was it? Male or female?
Herculine Barbin, an intersex woman who was forced to live as a man and committed suicide.
Oh, poor woman. I'm sorry to hear that.
Was painted as a monster by the press. We'll come back to Herculine Barbin in the early aughts when the word intersex gets a big spotlight. Back to the 20th century, after the geneticist Richard Goldschmidt used the term in his paper, intersex and hermaphrodite were used interchangeably in articles through the 1920s,
Ugh.
30s, and 40s. The 1950s marked a turning point for the word intersex and the ways being intersex was pathologized by both doctors and the public. Dr. John Money, a psychologist, began writing in the 1950s.
Okay, I thought his name was John Money. Because that's not spelled Money. That is not spelled Money. That is spelled money.
That intersex people were psychologically healthy, but would turn out even better if babies were made to look like the gender they were being raised. Money and his team at Johns Hopkins believed that gender identity was a matter of nurture and not nature, and that changing a child's body surgically and supplementing it with hormones would make them a boy or a girl. His theory was that babies were malleable before they were 18 years old.
Oh, I don't like that. Thank you. Malleable? Seriously? No, they're malleable in the womb, not outside of it.
In a 1967 study, Money claimed that a boy was able to live successfully as a girl after his penis was burned in a circumcision.
His penis was... Hold on, did I hear that right? Penis was burned?
The boy was able to live successfully as a girl after his penis was burned in a circumcision accident. The baby was castrated and had a surgery to appear female. It didn't work. 30 years later, Money's subject was living as a man, and the baby wasn't even intersex. Money's research and the hundreds of articles he wrote changed the direction of how intersex people were treated medically. Until the 50s, most surgeries to alter intersex traits were done on adults who chose to undergo such procedures or whose doctors pressured them to do it. There was
Okay, well, if you need to pressure a doctor to do something, either that doctor doesn't know anything about it, or you have underlying medical conditions. And I'd go with the former for this specific stuff, you know?
pressure to normalize bodies to avoid homosexuality because the thinking was that a person didn't know who to avoid having sex with if they didn't know their own sex. The Hopkins team gave way to new protocol where intersex children were given so-called corrective genital surgeries and hormone treatments, often without knowledge and consent, and even if the surgeries were not medically necessary. For the next 3 decades, the word intersex proliferated along with such surgeries until intersex people came together to reclaim the terminology. In the late 1980s, the intersex movement began to percolate. Intersex people, who had been subject to secrecy about their medical records and made to feel ashamed of their bodies, began organizing groups and circles.
That's good, though. That's good that they organize and stuff, you know? Yeah, I don't like that, Drew. I don't like that was a thing that they did, you know? It's just gross. To me, it's gross that they did this, but it happens because if you don't know about it, you think poorly of it, basically. You know? You know what? I'll wait for the ads to end. That's funny. Okay, you're back. I was just about to... Okay. I forgot what I said. I was saying something about how I find it disgusting, but I understand why. Some people would think certain things. Like, if you don't understand it, like, people say that homophobia makes no sense. I see it as homophobia isn't the fear of homosexuals. It is. I trust me, I know. But people say that homophobia is not the fear of homosexuals. Of course it's not. Everybody knows that it's not the fear of homosexuals. But where I find it to be, homophobia is the fear of change that you're not ready for. And with the LGBT community, coming full force out of the gates, you know? People being like, don't rub gay in my face, and there's a funny meme for that. Where it's like, oh, there goes the gays, and then what it is like a straight guy or whatever with a truck, and the truck says, I love women, MILFs forever, all that kind of stuff, and he's rubbing it in their face. Or there's another one where it's like, damn gays, and then he has shoving it all in their face, and then it's just a guy doing like all American flags showing I'm a patriot, you know, even though he's not. He definitely isn't.
1893, an activist then named Cheryl Chase wrote a letter to The Sciences, a magazine, in a response to a paper about sex and gender. In it, Chase announced the founding of the Intersex Society of North America.
Oh, nice.
Medical and hormonal treatment allows parents and doctors to imagine that they have eliminated the child's intersexuality. Unfortunately, the surgery is immensely destructive to the sexual sensation and of the sense of bodily integrity.
That's fair, I understand that.
Letter read. In 1996, intersex activism became more visible. The first ever intersex demonstration was held on October 26th, later becoming Intersex Awareness Day.
Wait, there's an Intersex Awareness Day? Hold on, let me put that in my calendar. What was that? October 26th. October 26th. Intersex Awareness Day. I wanna put that down just so, you know, I know about it. Okay, sorry about that.
Activists protested a conference held by the American Academy of Pediatrics in Boston. Activists used the slogan, hermaphrodite
Wait, what?
with attitude on signs, shirts, and newsletters as a way to reclaim the term hermaphrodite. This shift.
That's fair. Reclaiming words, I find, is probably one of the best things you can do with words like that. Let me see. Like, the N-word was reclaimed by black people, but it's still offensive if you're white or something, you know? Because of the history behind it. I don't think you can say the F slur, though. Even if you're gay. But I guess you can. Depends upon the sense. You know, if you're offended by something, then yeah, I get it. You know, it's not a word you should say, but yeah.
Shifted to intersex as they sought to work with doctors to stop non-consensual surgeries. In the 2000s, intersex entered pop culture to mixed results. In 2002, Jeffrey...
Is that why it's called Middlesex in Massachusetts? Hold on.
Eugenides published his best-selling book, Middlesex. Eugenides
Oh, Eugenides nuts. No.
wrote the book after reading Herculine Barvin's posthumously published memoir. Middlesex told the fictional story of an intersex young man and has been criticized for fetishizing the shame and suffering of intersex people.
You know?
After selecting Middlesex for her book club, Oprah featured intersex people on her show in 2007 to talk about their experiences. Not without a salacious spin, of course.
On it. Are you male or female? Simple question, right? For today's guest, the answer is much more complicated. They'll tell you why. And the preferred description is intersex.
A 2006
Oh, I hate that.
house further hit on bad tropes when a girl in the fictional hospital was found to have internal testes and was really a boy. The episode plays with the idea that there is a true marker of sex, an idea that has historically characterized how doctors approach intersex people. While the term intersex gained more traction and challenged the idea that there was anything to fix with intersex bodies, new
Hold on.
terminology arrived in 2005. DSD, or disorders of sex development, was introduced in medical settings as another way to describe being intersex. DSD, a controversial term for
Hold on.
things being intersex rather than a biological variation. In fact, activists fear that if parents of intersex kids are told their child has a disorder of sex development, they won't be able to make an informed choice about surgery or even know it means intersex. Even in the media, it's only recently that intersex hasn't been treated as a medical diagnosis. In 2014, the organization Interact worked with MTV to develop the first character where being intersex was an identity.
Sorry, go back.
Medical diagnosis. In 2014, the organization Interact worked with MTV to develop the first character where being intersex was an identity. And in August 2018, California passed a resolution acknowledging that
California!
intervention are an abuse.
You beautiful state, I guess. I don't know. California does a few bad things too, so I don't know.
Of human rights, the first piece of legislation of its kind here in the United States, a major win for the intersex community. Today, intersex is still being claimed by people as a way of challenging how doctors have treated their bodies. Intersex people continue fighting non-consensual surgeries and are seeking legislation to protect kids from these procedures. Intersex is entering a new terrain as a human rights issue to allow people to make choices about their own bodies. Since the 90s, intersex has found its power, and it's not slowing down.
I kind of want that. Should I watch that one later or right now? Does anyone want to watch this? What pansexual means? I know what pansexual means.
Early 20th century psychoanalysis to its burgeoning use among celebrities.
I guess we're gonna find out. Because what I think of it is you don't care about the gender identity or sex, you know? Let's figure this out. Actually, hold on. I want to like those last two videos I watched. Hold on. Like, subscribe. Of course I want to subscribe. I'm gonna make sure I'm subscribed.
20th century psychoanalysis to its burgeoning use among celebrities today, the word pansexual has come a long way to get to this pop culture moment. And we love how it challenges us to think about gender, sexuality, attraction, and desire. So, how much did appeared in 1914 as the word pansexualism in the Journal of Abnormal Sexuality? A doctor named J. Victor Huberman criticized Sigmund Freud's method of psychoanalysis and unpacked one part of his theory, which was that the pansexualism of mental life, which makes every trend revert finally to the sexual. In other words, Freud theorized that sex was a motivator of all things, hence pansexualism. The word pansexual itself was derived from the Greek prefix pan, which means all, and of course sexual. At the time, it was a psychoanalytic term used far differently from how we use it today. Though pansexual may not have been used to describe sexual orientation.
Ha! I get it! It took me a second. That's funny.
There were reports of people in the 1920s and 1930s who loved to cross labels and boundaries on Harlem and Chicago's South Side. In fact, it wasn't until the 1940s that the pioneering sex researcher Alfred Kinsey laid out how sexuality operated on a continuum with his scale that measured the degrees of heterosexuality and homosexuality. His work helped pave the way for labels that describe sexual orientation and the possibility for labels beyond heterosexual and homosexual. Still, anything outside of being straight was thought of as a mental disorder, and even pansexual in its psychoanalytic
Not surprised a lot of people probably thought that.
In a 1952 speech, Pope Pius said that the quote pansexual method of psychoanalytic therapy
Explaining the pansexual method of psychoanalytic therapy went against Christian values. There we go. Pope, yeah.
against Christian values. The 1970s saw the first inklings of pansexual being used in roughly the same way it is today to describe desire and identity. A 1974 New York Times article about the sexual revolution proclaims, I see that a lot of people are going bisexual this year. This is different from going homosexual, which was last year. It declared, I know what comes next season, it's pansexuality. The paper of record used the word again a year later to describe androgynous British rocker Brian Eno, who was in the band Roxy Music.
Okay, so I'm guessing because pan means all or everything.
Might have been onto something, because in the 1980s, pansexual as a sexual orientation continued to proliferate. But the word also acquired a slightly different meaning. Like at pansexual play parties may be interested in a wide array of sexual experiences.
Okay, I get it. So I think I get it. Here, let's go back to chatting. Sorry, that was too much stuff that I didn't want to. Okay, what is mosaic? Something I wanted to look up. Klinefelter's mosaic Klinefelter's. What's that? A rare form of Klinefelter syndrome where an individual has a mix of cells, some with the typical XY chromosomes and others with the extra X chromosomes, such as XXY. Compare to now. Okay, let's see. So it's just... Okay, let's see. Is characterized by a mix of cell types within the same person, unlike typical KS, where every cell has the extra X chromosome? 46XY, but some cells have 47XX. Oh, interesting. Interesting! Okay, so an example would be XXY. Let's see. From a random event. You know what? Sure. Chromosomes. Okay. Now let's look up what a karyotype is. What is a karyotype? Dang it, Drew. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I just realized I never did PokeCatch. Hold on. Okay, let's see what a karyotype is. An individual's complete set of chromosomes and a laboratory created image of those chromosomes. Oh, so visual of a complete set of chromosomes. Okay. Interesting. That's good to know. Okay. This is probably something people have wondered. Why do seat belts lock up? I know different subjects, you know. Okay, so seatbelts. This is pretty interesting. It's a safety mechanism to restrain passengers during sudden movements or impacts like braking or collisions. Which I thought, when I was thinking about it, I was like, I wonder why seatbelts lock up like they do. And then I was thinking more and I was like, maybe it's because of braking and like to make sure you don't fly out the window, you know? But I did look it up and found that already. This type of retractor. Okay, an emergency locking retractor locks the seatbelt when it detects a sudden rapid pull or collision. It's the most common type found in vehicles. So you have to, like, you know. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, how seatbelts work. I'd love to watch that one. Automatic locking retractor typically used in child safety seat installations and sometimes in seatbelts themselves. They engage when the belt is pulled out to its full length and then retracts a short distance, locking the belt in place for a secure. Oh, nice. Neat. Let's watch how seatbelts work. I'm not. Hey. How long is this? 10 minutes and 44 seconds? Okay, I can go to the beginning of that. Okay. Go to main. Let's watch this video.
Today I'm going to show you what's inside your seatbelt mechanism and how it works to save your life in a crash.
That was too smooth. That was too satisfyingly smooth going in like that. Watch.
Seatbelt mechanism and how it works to save your life in a crash.
Oh, that looked way too smooth. Don't you guys agree? Buckle up, we're learning about seatbelts. But no, seriously, Drew. Look at how he plugs it into the seatbelt.
Seatbelt mechanism and how it works to save your life in a crash.
It looks a little rough, but it also looks really good too.
Most modern vehicles come with a 3-point safety belt. That means there's an attachment up at the top of the B pillar, one down at the bottom there, and then of course your buckle in between the center console. Now the main part of the mechanisms.
I know, when I saw the toothbrush, I wanted to say something about the toothbrush. I want to know why he has a toothbrush, for instance.
Hidden behind this B pillar cover here, so I'm going to remove this. Then down at the bottom here, you can see this is the wire.
Oh, that's cool looking. That's the inside of a seat?
It goes to the explosive charge. This is the seat belt mechanism and the seat belt that leads up through it. And now I can remove the seat belt assembly from the vehicle.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Smooth this man's a buckler.
Now here I have the rear seat belt removed from the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, he definitely buckles.
Would normally sit upright just like this. You can see here we've got the reel for the seat belt. Then on this side here we've got the torsional spring that helps it to retract back in the spot. And then on the side here we have this.
Let me just.
Gear mechanism, and that's where all the magic happens to help it.
Ooh.
Now there are 4 main purposes to this internal mechanism, the first of which is your gravity sensor. Now it will sense
Gravity sensor?
if the vehicle is inclined this way or if it's decelerating this way, and it will actually lock the seat. Belts from expelling any more webbing material. However,
Oh, okay.
If the vehicle is moving at a constant speed and the seat belts are relatively flat, it will allow seat belt to be pulled out. Now this cam will rotate with the retractor according to the gear ratio provided here, and when this cam reaches the point where this gravity ball is, it'll lock because I've got it in a slant position. Of course, if I bring it to a level position, it will unlock and I can use the seatbelt normally. Now the second
cool.
purpose to this mechanism is to suddenly lock up if it senses a rapid deceleration.
I hate that stuff. I like what I do is I pull the seatbelt a little too fast and boom, there we go. Locked.
I.e. the vehicle is slowing down and the occupant is pulling on the seatbelt, it'll hold it in place. Now the third purpose of the seatbelt is to give you a little bit
Hold on a second.
Bit of slack so you can get this belt over your big fat belly and buckle it up before it'll start locking up again. So you can see that I've got a good amount of belt released here, and now the belt is starting to lock up. However, near the top here, it doesn't lock up when I tug on it. And what initially allows the seat belt to move in and out is the position of the outside notch on this cam over here. Now of course,
Hold on a second. Alright.
The final purpose of this mechanism is to provide a complete stop when you pull out the seatbelt. So if I pull out all of the seatbelt here, you can see that it actually locks up when it reaches the end, so it doesn't pull it out of the reel. And you can see we have
Oh! Hold on, I gotta pause that. There's a reel?
when it reaches the end, so it doesn't pull it out of the...
Wait, it can be pulled out? Huh, interesting.
You can see we have this light blue cam inside of here that rotates with the retractor. And then we have this cam on the outside here that will actually engage with this cam here when the seatbelt has reached its maximum position. So you can see as I move the seatbelt to its maximum position, click, that cam will...
Oh, did you see that?
So you can see...
Wait, did you guys see that? Okay, so let me get my mouse. So over here, you can see it lock up.
As I move the seatbelt to its maximum position, click, that cam will click. It'll lock the seatbelt from being extracted any further. And now in order to unlock it, I have to keep retracting the seatbelt until this cam moves all the way back around here. And then it will...
That's why when we're driving and my seatbelt locks up, I have to fucking unbuckle myself. Great.
Put this cam back into place just like that. And now the seatbelt is free to move back and forth. And of course we've got more spiders. Cool.
Oh, nice spiders, bro.
Now I'm going to open up this mechanism.
He just fucking... Did you see that? He launched that spider. He launched that spider with his toothbrush.
Go away.
Whee!
Now I'm going to open up this mechanism to see what's inside and how it works. So I'm just going to pop off the top cover here and we can have a look inside. So this blue cam here serves two purposes. The first of which is to lock this tooth into the retractor. So this cam is going to come around here and click engage this tooth, and that's going to lock this green spline shaft here, which is attached to the retractor.
Spline
The
shaft?
second purpose of this blue cam here is
Spline shaft sounds weird.
spline shaft here, which is attached to the retractor. Now the second purpose of this blue cam here is to disable and enable the gravity ball. Now this gravity ball will move up and down. Of course you need a little bit of slack in the beginning of the seatbelt, so you don't want it to lock. So this cam here will move in and disable that gravity ball for this period of time. Once the retractor has expelled a certain amount of seatbelt, this cam will move and allow this gravity ball to take over and lock the seatbelt. So I'm just going to remove this gravity ball to show how it works. You can see here when the vehicle is decelerating, what's going to happen is that this tooth here is actually going to move upward, and
that's actually kind of smart. Actually, I gotta keep watching real quick.
engage with the splines on the shaft here to lock the retractor in place.
Yep, that's what I thought. That's what I thought when I saw it pointing up. I am not good with cars, but this is really good information, you know, and I'm just trying to figure out how it works, and this is actually very neat.
When the vehicle is rapidly decelerating. So now that we've got the two lock mechanisms as well as the gear inside of here off, I can remove this free spinning cam here. So inside of
That sounded like he broke it. Did that not sound like he broke it?
inside of here off, I can remove this free spinning cam here. So inside of our blue cam here, we have this little notch that actually engages this gear, which is
Please don't tell me he broke it by accident.
on the inside of this gear over here. Now this is a little intricate because we've got this gear that rotates on the inside here. And it's got this green cam on it here that'll engage the slider. So this slider can move back and forth with the rotation of this gear, and this
It sounded crunchy.
gear is connected to the cam through these two notches over here. Now we'll see why this slider can move back in a minute. So I'm going to remove this gear, this green cam, as well as this yellow slider. Of course, a lot of things go flying.
Sorry. Did you see the... Okay, hold on. The green... Follow this green thing. It rolls for a second. That's fucking funny. I don't know why.
Green cam, as well as this yellow slider. Of course, a lot of things go flying in this video. And with all these components removed, we still have the mechanism on the inside here that allows the seatbelt to lock when you pull it really quickly. And you can see that this yellow slider had a little notch that when it moves back and forth inside of here, it activates a little tooth inside of there that's spring-loaded. Now I'm going to remove this blue gear here.
Okay, that looked a lot nicer than the other stuff. That one being removed.
And then we have...
Okay, I say that and he fucking drops it. What better way to do it than drop it? Apparently.
The spline shaft. Now this here is the retractor tooth. You can see that there's about 10 degrees of free play inside of here. And this is basically locking and unlocking the mechanism on the inside that we're going to see next. Of course, you have the spring here that keeps the spring tension to keep this unlocked. So
careful with that spring. That could probably undo and like snap him, you know? That's what it feels like, or looks like would happen.
In this case, if it's moved in this direction, the retractor is unlocked and will allow you to pull your seatbelt. And if it's in this position here, the seatbelt is locked.
Sorry.
Will allow you to pull your seatbelt, and if it's in this position here, the seatbelt is locked and you can't pull your seatbelt. If you remember this slider that moved back and forth, it's got this tooth on it over here, and that engages and disengages the lock here. And that's to allow the retractor to unlock for the first few inches. Remember, it's controlled by this cam over here.
Yeah.
So you can actually put this seatbelt around your big fat belly before it starts to lock.
Okay. Dickhead. Listen here, buddy. How can he see my stomach from the camera? No, I'm just kidding. Your big fat belly. What the fuck? No, not even. It depends on how fat you are, because there have been times where I've tried to get a seatbelt and then it's either too tight or just doesn't fit, you know.
Up again. Now if I remove the retractor gear here, and inside of here we have two metal lockers that will lock this retractor shaft onto the housing spline here with these teeth. You can see that they operate by the principle of centrifugal force, i.e. if you're pulling...
Sorry, but not centrifugal, it's centrifugal. Right? Am I right? Am I wrong in saying that it's centrifugal? I know it's a small thing to be like, dude, you're saying it wrong, but like, ugh.
The belt nice and slowly, these are actually going to stay where they are because they're actually attached to the spring through this gear that we saw earlier. Now what happens when you pull on the seatbelt really tight is that these will lock up. And that's because from centrifugal force, these will have a tendency to push outward.
Oh! Did you see that? They stuck onto the... I want to know how they were invented.
As it's rotating this way, and that will cause these teeth to engage with the teeth in the housing. Unlock your seatbelt. Now in order to unlock the seatbelt, that's where this return spring comes in. It pushes these two cams together away from this gear and will allow you to pull your seatbelt out. Now on this side here you have a giant torsional spring that's responsible for pulling back the seatbelt when you retract it. Alright, so I'm just going to pry up here on a screwdriver.
This does not look safe.
The spring has a little notch where the retractor will retract in, and it's preloaded with a bunch of tension, and as you pull it out here it gets tighter and tighter, and of course as you retract it, it will retract back to its home position.
Oh cool, I guess. That was... Dude, you fucking idiot! That's... No, don't do that!
It will retract back to its home position.
That was so dumb!
I told you a lot of things are going to go flying in this video. And you can see the spring is actually made up of, well, spring steel, it seems like, of course. Now, of course, the most important part of the seatbelt is the webbing itself. Now, these things have to be made really strong because it has to withstand the weight of a human during an impact in a collision.
Oh, yeah, true.
You can see it's sewn together with all these weave fibers here. In fact, it's so strong that I've actually used this to lift the engine out of the Corolla. Now, these are all the...
That's impressive. I'm sorry to say, but that's impressive.
Components that go into making the rear seatbelts on your car lock. Of course, the front seatbelt...
The toothbrush is back! Everybody! Guys, look, it's the toothbrush! Yeah!
are a little bit different, so let's go have a look at those ones. So here we have the front seatbelt.
I'm sorry, but him throwing the toothbrush in the frame was funny. I don't know why. It's so dumb.
Front seatbelts are a little bit different, so let's go have a look at those ones. So here we have the front seatbelt removed from the vehicle, and just like the rear seatbelt, we do have your locking mechanism housed inside of...
Wait, he got rid of two... I hope that car was going to the junk heap, you know? Toothbrush never left.
And we've got the gravity mechanism that will sense if the car is decelerating. And this one does not have a preset length where it starts locking, so it will actually start locking from right at the bottom, unlike the rear seat belts, which had a different cam.
Sorry about that, but he took 2 seatbelts out. That's just irresponsible.
Inside of here. And also, as you reach near the end of the reel, it just stops. There's no actual mechanical locker like how the rear ones had. And of course, on this side here, we have your tension spring that's responsible for retracting the seatbelt.
If he busts out that retention spring again, I swear to God.
Now what's different about this is that we have a pre-tensioner on this seatbelt. Now how
Ooh.
a pre-tensioner works is we've got an explosive charge on the inside here, and during a collision, this explosive charge is going to fire off, just like your airbags. Now what that'll do is if you've got any slack inside of your seatbelt, it's going to tension that up so it goes nice and firm against your body, and it holds you against smacking your face from the dash.
On.
Now because it is a little bit dangerous for me to start...
Oh, the toothbrush! How did I miss the toothbrush? The toothbrush is back.
With this explosive attached, I'm going to fire off this explosive. There's 2 contacts
Ow.
here that you apply 12 volts to, and I'm going to show you how the pre-tensioner works. So you can see this is my setup. I've got the seat belt with a little bit of a loop secured.
This looks so dangerous, like that electro boom guy.
We've got a brick over there, and we've got a brick on top of the seat belt and tensioner over here. And of course I've got my wires that I'm going to take out to my battery. 3, 2, 1.
Wait, did he just say? Did he just say there you go? Yep, he did.
Alright, so here we have tape 2, the passenger side belt. I've got a lot more tension in the seat belt, so we can see if it's going to retract. I'm just going to put my brother's old toothbrush here.
No, not the. No, the toothbrush is in such a dangerous spot. You don't do that. That poor toothbrush.
I'm just going to put my brother's old toothbrush here, just to see what it's going to do. 3, 2, 1.
No! The toothbrush broke! No, do you guys see that right there? Right here. That's the head of the toothbrush. That poor toothbrush.
Alright, so you can see here, that was quite a lot of force. And we have a broken toothbrush.
No!
And we have the other side of the toothbrush here. My brother's not going to be too happy.
That was your brother's toothbrush? Oh, that poor toothbrush.
2 exploded seat belt pre-tensioners and 1 broken toothbrush later. And you can
He just threw the head away. Oh, what a meanie.
see that the driver's side belt here is all tangled up and wind up, and it's completely locked. On the passenger side here, it's kind of locked, it's still messed up, it doesn't retract very well. You've got your pre-tensioner here, which I can now magically screw off. And once you screw that off, you can see that there's this piston inside of here that actually moved from this position to this position during the explosion. And then you've got these 2 cables here. Now I'm going to pop off these plastic covers to see.
No.
First you have your spring tensioner inside of here to retract
If he takes out that spring tensioner, I hope that toothbrush haunts him.
the seat belt. Inside of here there's 2 Torx bolts that I'm going
Why is it throughout this whole video I was more emotionally invested in that toothbrush? What the fuck is wrong with me?
to remove next. And then I can remove this top cover. And then I can remove the pre-tensioner assembly. So you can see inside of this pre-tensioner we have this cable that's attached to the piston for the explosive. Now what happens is when this explodes, this is going to explode in this direction over here, and it's going
Well,
to
no
tug on
shit.
this cable. Now when it tugs on this cable here, it's going to tend to rotate this ring around this shaft inside of it. And this
Oh.
is connected to this shaft here through these key notches on the side here. Now before the pre-tensioner blows, this wire is actually wound up inside of here. When the pre-tensioner blows, it'll actually pull on this wire, and that'll cause this to rotate, which will in turn turn the shaft, which will retract the seat buckle inside of here, pulling it back against your body. Now, of course, all of this happens within a few milliseconds of you colliding with another vehicle. It's usually triggered by the airbag system. Now, of course, this is going to lock up and become useless once you crash, so you will have to replace this if you intend to put the vehicle back on the road.
What? He did it again! Oh, you idiot!
A lot of force. Well, there you have it. These are all the components that...
That was actually good to know, though. Airbag crash did reset. I don't know what that. Can an airbag lift a car? How an airbag works? I want to know how an airbag works now. Hold on. Seven years ago. I'll just do a rest in peace to the toothbrush. Now, how an airbag works?
Have you ever wondered how one of these airbags works?
I have. That's why I'm watching it.
The airbag is used to prevent your head from hitting a steering wheel in a crash.
Hold on. I'm sorry to say this, but if there's another toothbrush, I hope that one doesn't break.
Now, the way an airbag system works is you've got these crash sensors that sit on the front of the car. They tell the SRS computer that the vehicle has crashed, and then...
Okay, it's only 3 minutes. Wait, this is the intro. This is the intro. I don't want the intro, do I? No, the intro is just a bunch of snuff or whatever the fuck.
Here's your airbag assembly. This whole
A bunch of fluff, sorry.
entire thing acts as a horn switch. So if you turn it over here, you'll see that this U-shaped bracket on the bottom is your contact pad for the horn, and if you squish it in, it makes contact like that. There's 3 points of contact, one here, one over here, and one over here. So
Who's a good puppy?
I'm a good puppy.
They'll go to your electrical connection for the charge to explode it. I'm just going to remove that. And then you can pull the wires out. Like that. The next thing I'm going to do is remove this airbag inflator from the airbag assembly.
Oh no.
There are 4 tamper-proof nuts here. I'm just going to use the vice grip.
Temper-proof nuts. We're watching. Well, first we were watching how seatbelts work, and now we're looking at how an airbag works.
Special tool you can use to get these off. I'm just using a vice grip to wind these out. You can then remove the airbag inflator.
This feels. This looks dangerous.
And the airbag assembly by carefully lifting it off the studs.
Carefully. He said carefully, and it launched.
This airbag inflator is pretty much like a bomb. When you apply a charge here, it actually explodes the sodium iodide inside, which produces a nitrogen gas very rapidly, and it escapes through these holes to fill the airbag. Now this assembly looks like it's been fused together at the factory, so I'm not going to open it. But this
Good,
is where
don't.
the serial number is that you can check to see if this airbag is covered under a recall. Now, by the way, it's just the airbag inflator that's replaced during the recall. They're not actually replacing the entire airbag.
Oh look, it's the airbag. Oh, the airbag. Okay, I see. So then, okay.
So here's the rest of the airbag. You can see how it's folded up in there. I'm just going to remove these tabs here where it hooks onto the housing. And then now I'm going to come in with a Phillips screwdriver and remove the 3 screws that have the spring on them for the pivot of the horn switch. And that's what that looks like. So now that all the Phillips screws are removed, I have to remove the plastic outside.
I'm going to need to send at least one of these to my dad. Run, move, and boom. Exactly. It should be safe now. Exactly, see?
Tabs, which are these tabs on the outside here, just using a screwdriver.
I have to send these last 2 videos to my dad. I wonder if he'd like it. I mean, he's a tow truck driver. I mean, he has to, right?
And now I'm going to pull this frame out with the airbag.
Wait, did you see that?
Right here, just using
Wait a second.
the screwdriver. And now I'm going to pull this frame.
Right there. Right there. That spring right there. It popped out from right there. Did you see that? See? And it rolls away. Bye. It's like, I ain't have none of this shit. Hold on, let's watch that again.
Just using a screwdriver. And now I'm going to pull this frame out.
See, there it went.
and that reveals the airbag and the airbag cover. This here is your airbag cover. Now normally this would be sealed, but on the back here you can see that there's a score line where the airbag is supposed to explode.
Oh,
So
cool.
now I'm going to remove the frame of the airbag, and that reveals the actual bag itself. It's not folded up properly because this airbag has been exploded before. Alright, now I'm just going to remove this white piece from the top, and that reveals the actual bag itself. The whole entire airbag is really held on by these 4 studs. So this here is roughly the size of the airbag when it's inflated.
That's a big airbag.
If you turn it over on the back here, you'll see that there's these 2 vent holes to vent all of the nitrogen gases out. A couple of seconds after it's inflated, so the driver can regain control of the vehicle after collision. Now the airbag is actually made of this really strong nylon woven material that can withstand the heat and the explosion of the airbag. So this is pretty much all the components that make up the airbag. It's
Explode the airbag! No, I'm just kidding.
a device that can save your life, kill you, or maybe even injure you. So make sure you get your airbag.
Okay. Let's go back to just chatting. Because that wasn't everything yet. Sorry, I have to look at my notes. Okay, this is gonna be a weird question. A lot of people say yes. Was Walt Disney a Nazi? I got curious. No, Walt Disney. Okay, Walt Disney was not a Nazi, everybody. Thank fucking God. But I know he worked for the U.S. government, if I remember. Disney produced anti-Nazi propaganda films to be shown to the American public with the aim of increasing support for the war effort. Okay, that makes more sense. While some have accused Disney of racism or anti-Semitism, he's not described as a Nazi sympathizer. Okay. His company also made military training films for the U.S. Navy, Army, Air Force, and Treasury Department during the war. Oh, nice. While Walt Disney faced accusations of racism and anti-Semitism, these claims are contradicted by people who knew him. Interesting, according to a Wikipedia article. Disney's involvement in anti-Nazi propaganda and war efforts demonstrates a clear opposition to Nazi ideology. That's good to know. What? Hold on. What? Fact checking age old rule. Oh, I have to sign into this? Oh, that's fucking bullshit. I should just have fucking. Oh, whatever. Well. So he wasn't a Nazi. Let's see. Did Walt Disney.
If you want to be healthy, this is the starter. Drink more water.
Thank you for the hydrate pocket. I was just typing out something real quick before I, drink some water. Ah, that was a good hydrate. That was a pretty good hydrate. I like that hydrate. Okay. Did Walt Disney work for the U.S. government? Yes, Walt Disney and his studio worked extensively for the U.S. government, producing over 400,000 feet of training, propaganda, and public service films for the military and other agencies during World War II. Okay. So, yes. Okay. Okay, let's see. Also made a goodwill tour of Latin America for the State Department in the early 1940s, and his artist designed hundreds of military insignia free of charge. Ooh, nice. While he wasn't a direct government agent, he had significant contact and cooperation with agencies like the FBI. Which I knew about already, Because once you're a Disney fan, you learn about this shit. The Disney studio produced numerous anti-Nazi and pro-American war propaganda films to boost morale and support for the war for public morale. Disney characters appeared on posters, books, and war bonds to encourage public participation and raise money for the war effort. What is the Goodwill Tour? Huh. Interesting. Although not a formal agent, Disney was known to have anti-communist sympathies and worked with the FBI on occasion, including providing information on his own workers during a labor dispute. Huh. Interesting. Walt Disney... Hold on. Walt Disney World War II. Let's see if I can find anything about it on here. Actually, there's a restored version of the cartoon. Do I want to watch this though? Nah, I don't want to watch that. I was gonna watch it, but then I was like, nah. I'd probably get in trouble with Disney, you know? With now Disney. It's only been 2 hours and 1 minute. Damn it, Drew. Just because you're quote-unquote communist. No, just kidding. If anyone else has any questions, I ran out. Anybody had any other questions that I should look up? Because I will gladly look up some questions that you guys have that you don't want to look up right now, you know? Or you want me to learn about, you know? Because I get curious about what you guys have learned in the past, you know? If there's nothing, I can probably rate out right now, actually. Oh, because that's probably what I'll do, you know. I already have a raid target in mind. Nope, never mind. I had a raid target in mind, but now I have a different raid target in mind. Let's see. Are you doing good? Okay, it's only been an hour and 48 minutes for him. Okay, good. I have a lot of stuff I'm gonna need to do. Let's see. Actually, I don't like this one all that much. Yeah, that one's fine for me. We all know what pansexual means. Did we ever look what we looked at? Two-spirit? I'm gonna ask somebody about that, actually. About if that was a good one. I want to find gender fluid real quick. What does gender fluid mean? Inquiry. I heard that's right. Hey, show me the videos again. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. Oh wait, I found it. Oh, you fucker. I lost it. Hold on. Anthony Padilla. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Funny. Can I find this on YouTube? Nope. Okay. How long is this video? 7 minutes? Okay, I'm fine with that. We're going to find out what genderqueer is. Actually, first I want to look something up. Is gender fluid the same as gender queer? Oh, it's not the same. Are not the same, though. They're related and sometimes used interchangeably. Okay, gender queer is an umbrella term and customary. Well, gender fluid refers to a specific identity. Okay. I'm trying to find gender identity or gender fluid. Thank you very much. I could watch this person instead. Never mind, I think I'll just write out. I may just write out because gender queer is different from gender fluid, but they're interchangeable at the same time. Yeah, I don't trust learning about gender queer without knowing if they're the same. Let me see if I want to read this person out, actually. Let me, see who else is alive right now. Yeah. No, I don't want to read out to them. Hurricane. Hey, guys. Oh, Tony, thanks for the bits. It's going twice. Hi, Tony, thank you for the bits. Oh, I wish I should have told you that I was live earlier because I was just going to end the stream. Let me see. Do I even have my, I have Blurp going. Let me check something Blurp. Oh, I don't have, oh no, I do have it. Okay. Wah. It's just going right out. Actually, Tony, if you want, we can, Discord chat if you'd like voice chat or something if you'd be up for it. Actually, I had an idea. Are they still going? Let's see how long they've been going. Okay, they've been going for a while. Okay, so let's not do them. Let's do them. Whack. That's whack, bro. So if everybody can join me for a raid, that would be great. If you can't have it, that's okay too. Raid 1 if you're a follower, or raid 2 if you are a subscriber. Copy out either of those messages and paste it into the chat of who we read out to. /raid. We're gonna raid emotional support order, so if everybody can join me for a raid, that would be great. If you can't have it, that's okay too. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope to see you next time. And I hope you're all having a great day and continue to have a great day. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Tony, even though you weren't here probably for the whole thing. But thank you all for joining. I'm a good puppy. Text me on Discord, by the way, Tony, if you'd like the voice chat. Because I'd love to voice chat with you, you know, just one-on-one. Let's raid now.